Hi folks, welcome to another clip here on my YouTube channel. As always, before we start with a new topic, I would very much invite you to leave some thumbs up for the clip when this one is finished. And on top of that, I would like to remind you that it is very easy to just be a member of this channel. Just have a click on this red button here on the YouTube platform, and there you go. So first of all, I would like to thank you for all your views and thumbs up you gave me. And on top of that, of course, I would introduce you to that today's topic. Let's have a look at that WTI crude oil future, October today, and what is going on with the so-called black gold. Before we get started with a couple of fundamentals, just have a look at the chart technical picture right now. Folks, let's have a look at the chart technical picture. You got to see a 3-month picture on a daily basis, and you see the high from beginning of July, 73.95 US dollars a barrel, and you see the last low of August 20 at 61.82. So this is the October future at the NYMEX. So just saying. And you got to check out the last levels here that this kind of a WTI crude future October jumped over that descending trend line I just brought into here, and possible tests to the upside could lead us to that old level of 73.95, and the first dip to the downside could possibly have something like a touch or a test of that descending trend line here. The usual Fibonacci retracements, as you can see, these two levels are used just to combine that one, and building Fibonacci retracements to the upside and to the downside here, and projections. If you like, of course, you can build them to the downside as well. I just use the ones here to the upside. So 123.6, 138.2, and 161.8. Just saying. Okay, you gotta watch a couple of levels, possibly the retest of the level of the old high here of 73.95 could be on the cards just in the next days or the next 1 or 2 weeks. Of course, just a personal opinion that this could be a retest of this level or shy of that marker, and going back down again to retest the 61.8 level at this blue line around here. The other way around could be a retest of that descending trend line, and possibly a dip underneath that to get back to that level of 38.2, which is around the marker of 66.46 US dollars a barrel. The typical picture here is RSI, so a relative strength index, and you got to see that one is not yet overbought. So overbought territories are not yet around the corner. So this is a usual neutral picture, just because we still see something like 61 points. Nothing to talk about overbought conditions yet. All right, guys, just let's face the facts and possibly sum up 3 topics been responsible for the oil market right now. First topic, the bull case. Sadly, the bull case is the topic named Ida. So Ida, the hurricane Ida, had severe effects, devastating effects on the nature, on the houses, on all the areas, on people, and of course, on top of that, regarding oil facilities, oil production, and platforms need to be evacuated. Oil production needs to be cut or simply closed. So that has effects on the supply. The supply, US supply for WTI crude coming from the Gulf of Mexico, they just sum it up something between 1.5 million in direction to 2 million barrels a day missing. So that kind of a gap somehow needs to be filled usually. And you always know, you guys, something like that is not been filled in just a couple of days. So the gap remains into the next weeks to come. And that kind of stuff is slowly going back into operations that will soften, but right now that has the effect that the oil price is turning up to that old high we see in the chart from 73.95. Maybe this is a way it tests the way up to this kind of a marker. The second story is a story about the strategic oil reserve. So in that case of spiking oil prices or rocking up oil prices, there's a nice story when the White House is talking about bringing millions of barrels from the strategic oil reserve back to the market, sell it on the market. So that could dampen that kind of a spike to the upside, that could reduce it, that could reduce the pressure oil right now has. This is one kind of verbal intervention first. And if they really start selling it, it will have effects in lower oil prices. The third story is the sad story, still the most crazy story, COVID-19. This kind of a topic obviously never leaves us. So right now cases are still spiking, and sadly so do the numbers of death. And that kind of a Delta variant is spreading rapidly and across the whole US, especially in the south. And if you check out the levels, you can do that, check out data personally, do it yourself please, and check out while you're doing your due diligence research, and check out the numbers at, for example, the health institutes or Our World and data sources and stuff like that. You will find a couple of good sources just by using the first two Google pages when you just type in COVID-19. On top of that, this kind of a story will have a bad effect on the consumption, so the demand level will be affected. So that means that the oil consumption could soften and could be drawn back to lower levels. People are traveling less, flying less, stuff like that. So all these kind of effects, you see that stuff, by the way, you see that stuff in the latest NFP data. Somehow GDP numbers are not the same they used to be in the forecast a couple of weeks ago, or even 1 or 2 months ago. So big institutions, banks like Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Bank of America, and a couple of other institutions already reduced their Q3 forecast for GDP. And right now you saw that NFP data that it was not the case. There's nothing like 800,000 new jobs or something like 750 to 900k jobs added. It's much, much less. So it's way less. And you see that somehow that kind of a current health situation has effects on the job market, and all that stuff together has effects on the whole economic situation. And you know that the less economic situation or the lower economic situation or move we see, the less consumption or consumption will be around the corner. So I'm speaking about correction to the downside at the oil price. I'm not speaking about the fact that the oil price could not be back up again at the same levels when it comes to more cold times and at the northern hemisphere. So just saying, as you all know, these are the 3 topics right now, and these 3 topics, 1 bull case and 2 bear cases, are this is the stuff right now we face. Just to sum it up, and do your own due diligence. Again, I say, do your own research. On top of that, check out a couple of levels, check out the chart again, and check out where there is a possible situation for a long scenario, and where there's a possible situation for a short scenario underneath that, and just check out if there is something like overbought market really around the corner. This might be something like an invitation to reshort the market. So if we see something like a rocking up oil price in the next 2 or 3 days in the next week, this might be a nice invitation to try the first short, for example. Just saying, my opinion. All right, guys. Sunny as always. And the sun is shining. I'm looking out of the window right now. It's perfect. Enjoy your weekend. Hopefully you will have the time for it. Relax, have a barbecue, have a couple of beers, wine, whatever you have. And of course, have a healthy, relaxing weekend altogether. And a first and perfect start into the new week. Lots of good, prosperous trades to come. And we will be seeing us next time. Thank you very much, and please don't forget to leave some thumbs up or to be a member of this channel at the red button. Thank you very much. See you. Bye bye.